Okay, how I see religion is this. Sometimes I call myself Wiccan. Sometimes I call myself um, basically a Greek pagan for these reasons. I'm polytheistic. I normally, just recognize the Greek deities, gods and goddesses, as well as somewhat the Roman ones. And that's the reason why I also claim the title of Stregeria, or label. Um, but that's all, I guess, theoretical, because I also believe in the duality, which kind of leads me to Wicca, hence the whole Wicca thing. But I use Wicca as my secondary religion just because of that. But I really see things, and I like to do my rituals in kind of a pagan or Hellenistic viewpoint with the magic involved. And I do have a video on The Greek Way by Edith Hamilton and the view of magic within ancient times, maybe how they used it, so on and so forth. So if you haven't watched that video, please go and see it. But I wanted to talk about something even more important, going even further or deeper into the belief system, and that is that, the reason why I'm not a Satanist, and I claim the title of Wicca or just pagan, is because of this. I believe in the aspect of ascension. I believe that we are rebirthed, and then eventually our soul dismantles, if you want to really get into it, and it goes on. So the ultimate outcome would be to ascend to the energy, the Wiccans call it the Great All, but I really see it as the pool of Gaia, if you will, to go back to the source and to merge with that source. Now, in Satanism, as far as I understand it, okay, that's not the take on it. The ultimate outcome is to kind of keep on rising in energy and wisdom and power, and to ascend to your own godhood. That's how I take on it, see it. And that's also what I've been told. So if that's not true about the majority of Satanism, go ahead and post here on, and give me your comment or whatever. So that's the reason why I'm not a Satanist, is because I don't believe in rising to godhood. I personally worship Pan as my prime pantheonic deity, and also Diana as my mother, not exactly as the Earth Mother, but as my mother. And so, my major outlook is to ascend eventually, yes, but I also want to serve my deity in this life and, afterwards, if possible. So that's one of the things. Another thing is I don't like to label people or things, because, like, Satanism is a good example. Satanism is kind of like reliant upon that idea of individualism. If we go around labeling, especially us being Wiccan, labeling another religion and all its sects, so on and so forth, especially a religion that relies on individualism, aren't we helping to dismantle, their religion? And is that really right? Is that not doing harm to a religion? Especially a religion that believes in individualism. That's my take on it, and that's been my take on it. And that's the reason why I went and I, questioned things, is because I saw it as doing harm to Satanists. And yeah, you could say, well, but they're Satanists. It doesn't matter. They're still people. That's still a religion. And to a certain degree, there's been people on YouTube that have said time and time again that Wicca goes around dismantling religions. And I've fought for Wicca to a certain point, okay? There's always a certain point. There's a point where you've got to step back and look at the big picture and say, well, yeah, maybe Wicca is doing some kind of dismantling here. Maybe, sometimes Wiccans And I probably make the same mistake too. Sometimes Wiccans go around and do not respect other religions, try to speak for them, so on and so forth, or even speaking about them without being one themselves, without having that kind of experience. Okay? And speaking for them, representing them, that sort of thing, maybe even spreading misinformation because of it. And in effect, that's harming their religion, that's dismantling their religion, that's spreading rumors, that's allowing these labels to exist that might not even be correct, and then turning around and just promoting stereotypes. And is that what we want? Is that what we want to do? I don't think so. That's not what I want to do. And if it means questioning some people, then so be it. Maybe they need to be questioned. Because personally, I mean, unless somebody, once again, I've said this before, I know, but unless somebody has like 20 years in Satanism, what are they doing going around talking about Satanism and talking about the sects of Satanism? I'm sorry. It's not meant to be an attack. And this video is not an attack. This is about how far can we take things before it's harming something. How far? There's always got to be boundaries. And especially if you're labeling something or labeling people, isn't there going to be boundaries? I mean, you're talking about people. People normally have boundaries. And is it lines that we want to cross? Is it lines that we have to cross? Is it necessary? Is it good for the whole? So that's just some questions, and go ahead and post your comments. Blessed be.